Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a stunning deep dive into a Hollywood love story that has survived every storm, every rumor, and every headline. We're talking about Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa, and the shocking new confession that Mark just dropped about their whirlwind 1996 elopement. He's finally revealing why he has no regrets, why he still laughs about the chaos of that day, and how one unexpected truth changes everything we thought we knew about their marriage. Trust me, there are twists here you've never heard before. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's get into it. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa have always been one of Hollywood's most talked about couples, not because of scandal or controversy, but because of the sheer unpredictability, honesty, and longevity of their relationship. And now, nearly 3 decades after their spontaneous 1996 Las Vegas elopement, Mark is opening up again. This time with a confession that has fans buzzing, critics analyzing, and even Kelly herself raising an eyebrow. Speaking candidly, Mark shared that he has no regrets about their rushed, impulsive decision to get married after dating for just months. But he didn't stop there. He added a line that instantly set the internet ablaze. "What choice do I have now?" The moment he said it, fans split into two camps, those who laughed along knowing Mark's dry sense of humor, and those who gasped at what sounded like a hint of tension, or at least a story hiding beneath the surface. And as expected, once that door was cracked open, people wanted the entire story. Their romance has always been the kind of plotline that feels like it's been stolen directly from a primetime drama. Two co-stars on All My Children, playing out scripted romance while feeling a real one bubbling just beneath the surface. Kelly has admitted more than once that when she first saw Mark in the audition room, she knew, instantly, unmistakably, that he was the one she would marry. Mark eventually confessed he felt something too, but his version of the story has always included uncertainty, nerves, and the feeling that everything was moving dangerously fast. But in 1996, all that hesitation faded. In the middle of a small disagreement, yes, an argument, they decided to fly to Vegas. No rings, no dresses, no plans, just instinct and adrenaline. Kelly has always joked that they got married with a couple of dollar bills and a dream. But Mark's new confession adds a darker, more emotional layer. "What choice do I have now?" He laughed. But underneath that humor sits the truth. Their elopement changed everything for them. It bound them together in a way that neither had time to analyze or prepare for. And that is where the story gets complicated, where Mark's recent interview revealed new details that nobody expected. He explained that back then, he was terrified of losing Kelly. Their relationship felt fragile, unpredictable, and at times overwhelming. The elopement wasn't just romantic, it was an anchor, a sudden dramatic decision that forced two very young people to hold on to each other before something or someone pulled them apart. One of the biggest twists he revealed involves a hidden moment on the day they eloped, one the couple rarely talks about. Just minutes before the ceremony, Mark wasn't sure it would actually happen. The pressure of such a big decision hit him all at once. He paced, silent, nervous, trying to figure out if they were making the biggest mistake of their lives or saving something incredibly rare. Kelly, sensing this tension, simply waited. No tears, no convincing, no begging. She let Mark come to his own decision. And that's when, according to Mark, something incredible happened. He looked at her. No makeup artist, no costumes, no cameras, just the real Kelly. And he realized that all the chaos, all the fear, all the speed of their relationship didn't matter. What mattered was the certainty in her eyes. She wasn't unsure. She wasn't scared. She was ready. That moment, he said, erased every doubt. Which brings us to the present day, 2025. Where the couple is not only still together, but still co-hosting, still laughing, still teasing one another on live television in ways that feel both relatable and iconic. And as Mark explained, that's exactly why he has no regrets. Because that split-second decision in Las Vegas created a relationship that has lasted far longer than most of Hollywood's polished, perfectly planned weddings. But here's the twist. Mark also admitted that their marriage wasn't always easy. Especially in the early years when jealousy, insecurity, fame, and the constant pressure of being a public couple caused friction behind the scenes. He revealed that in the first years of marriage, He worried constantly about not being enough for Kelly, about how fast everything had happened, and about whether he could live up to the expectations that came with being her partner Kelly. Meanwhile, once revealed, she didn't always understand the intensity behind Mark's feelings. What she saw as passion, he sometimes saw as fear. Fear of losing her, fear of failing, fear of letting the whirlwind that brought them together become the same wind that tore them apart. But through all that, Mark insists he never regretted the elopement. What he did regret, however, was not understanding sooner that marriage wasn't supposed to be perfect. It was supposed to be honest. That honesty is exactly why their chemistry on Live with Kelly and Mark works so well. Fans aren't watching two co-hosts. They're watching a marriage unfold in real time. Messy, hilarious, emotional, unpredictable, real. And Mark's latest comments only prove why the audience feels so connected to them. Still, his playful line, "What choice do I have now?" took on a life of its own online. Some joked that it was the battle cry of every husband who married out of their league. Others turned it into memes, with Mark shrugging dramatically next to photos of a smirking Kelly. But what fans didn't expect was the follow-up. Mark clarified that his humor was masking something far more sentimental. Because the real meaning of that line was this: he couldn't regret the marriage even if he tried, because every part of his life now, from his children to his career to the stability he found as a man, came from that moment in Las Vegas. He may not have known it then, but the chaos of that day created the anchor he still depends on now. And then came the final twist. Mark admitted that if Kelly had said, "Let's get married today," under any other circumstances, in any other place, in any other moment, he would have panicked. But the fight they had before the elopement, the tension, the tears, the confusion, it all pushed them into the most honest version of themselves. They weren't trying to impress each other. They weren't trying to be perfect. They were two flawed, emotional people choosing each other in the middle of a mess. And in Mark's words, that is the kind of marriage that actually lasts. Today, Mark and Kelly look back at that moment with a mixture of shock and gratitude. Kelly joked once that if they had waited for the perfect wedding, they might still be waiting. Mark now agrees, not only because of what they gained, but because the imperfections that shaped their first day as husband and wife became the foundation that kept them together. And that brings us back to the biggest question fans have been asking. Would Mark Consuelos marry Kelly Ripa in the exact same impulsive way if he had the chance to do it again? His answer was simple and surprisingly emotional. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Because if I thought about it too long, I might have messed it up. It is rare in Hollywood to see a marriage built on impulsivity and vulnerability last nearly 30 years. But Mark and Kelly's marriage has never been typical. It has been unfiltered, unpredictable, and deeply human. And perhaps that's the real secret behind it. The 1996 elopement wasn't perfect. But it was theirs, and Mark Consuelos has no regrets. Not then, not now, not ever. If you love this deep dive into Mark and Kelly's incredible story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Hollywood insights, celebrity relationship twists, and the stories behind the headlines. What do you think? Is a spontaneous elopement the secret to a lasting marriage? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.